Hey, hi Leon.
Hey, hi, Sankara. How's it going?
I am Sankita from Women in Cloud Native, and we are here to discuss about the recent CNCF Ambassador program. And Leon is one of the participants in the program, and he's active in it. Leon, why don't you give us a very short introduction of yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Hi everyone. I'm Leon. I currently work as a customer success engineer at Solo.io. Apart from that, my I usually give talks in different events, and I also am very interested in hardware and IoT recently. And I also recently become the CNCF ambassador. Yeah, that's about.
You just mentioned CNCF Ambassador, right, Leon? So, what was the procedure for application in the same? Was there
Yeah.
any method that you used from where did you get to know about this event, about the program, and how did you apply for it?
Yeah, pretty much I think from Twitter. This program is like pretty famous on like Twitter and LinkedIn and all the other places. So I had come across it and then I just saw the eligibility requirement. They have like few eligibility requirements that you need to be contributing to like CNCF projects and you need to have a minimum amount of dev stats. So I can probably share that link, the eligibility requirement. So basically, you have to be active with their community. And since I mostly work with tools like SEO and all these things, I try to like contribute back to the community either by giving talks about it or blogging about it. And recently, I also have started contributing back to the open source repositories. So the GitHub repositories that are there, I usually do either docs or sometimes now most recently I've been working on the Waypoint the Waypoint proxy that they have. So the most recent contribution, I just passed test today. So I hopefully get
Awesome,
more.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank
So,
you.
Leon, for this CNCF program, was there any kind of form circulated, or you had to go to your site and register? What was it like?
Yeah, they have like an ambassador form that gets out. I can't recollect if it's like a Google form or it's like just normal form. But they ask you things like what your current contributions are, how are you active in the community, and I sort of just pulled out all my 2 years of talks and all that, and like mostly about how I have spoken in different cities and like different events. So I think they're more focused on like events that are related to Kubernetes. So I have given talks at like KCD Chennai, and then I think KCD. Yeah, I think KCD Chennai was the one that I gave the talk at. Apart from that, I don't recollect. But yeah, KCD Chennai was the latest one I gave last year. This year, and
Okay. So quite a
yeah.
number of contributions I see. So was there a resume format, or you had to include all of this in a written format, in paragraph format in the form?
Yeah, it's mostly paragraph. So they give you these like lines that you need to like what's your recent contribution or like how are you active in the community and all that. And then you just keep on filling that, and then they ask you like what is your goal once you become a CNCF ambassador, like how are you going to promote basically the CNCF stuff in online or anything.
Right, awesome. So, what are the recent most changes, or there must be a brochure, right? What you guys want to do in the program, or what they want you to do, or something like that. There should be a mission for the program, right? An objective. What do you think that is?
Yeah, actually, I couldn't find that, so I went and I asked them about how it is and all. So since KubeCon just got over recently, they haven't had a chance to like have a meeting with all the new members. They did announce like all the ambassadors in KubeCon on the stage, but they haven't had like a formal meeting with us. So usually there are like very basic requirements that you have to do, like sort of promote CNCF products and like advocate for their tech. So mainly,
You get the CNCF T-shirt as well.
yeah, there is a swag store that you can like, so you get something like a free swag store or something like that. I haven't yet reached there, but there is like a swag store where you can buy CNCS swags and stickers and all that. So those are also like fun and cool. And there is also this whole thing where people organize events. So few people are already, they have a base in the community. So they just use that as a way to sort of then include CNCF into it. So mainly, if I don't know if how many people are like aware of the whole CNCF landscape, but it's like a huge landscape that they have, and promoting each one of those is like impossible. So
Right.
usually people pick few things. Like for me, it's like STO, Envoy, Glue. These are all CNCF projects. So I usually work with them. So I also like talk about them. But then there are also other projects that you can like just randomly pick whichever one works for you, or like whichever one like you're interested in contributing. And then you can like give talks about it, promote it online, write blogs about it. So it's mostly that.
So basically, it's building a stronger foundation and spreading the awareness about Kubernetes among the people, right?
Yeah, it's more of awareness, and then you can also like I mean, since you're an ambassador and you have enough knowledge, or people who have enough technical knowledge, they can also go ahead and do things like consult online on GitHub or somewhere, or just like existing issues that are there. They could just like review those issues, and that is also a way of contributing back to the open source community. So CNCF helps like it's the only the added bonuses you get added to the CNCF ambassador channel. So with that, every week they give you things like coupons and like discount coupons, and they inform you about like which are the upcoming KCD events that are happening. So people can go and then apply for it, and then it's sort of like a networking session that you can like use. So it grants you access to that network.
Right, right. So, John, there must be a lot of your friends or your fellow Kubernetes or DevOps enthusiasts who have applied for the same, right? Like I personally know a few, but then what do you think differentiated your profile or your answers from from the others who were not selected for this cohort?
Yeah, so I don't know like what differentiated me, but speaking in terms of uh, like as an individual, probably I someone who had like a lot of stage fright when I started out. So talking and all these were like not something that I could easily do. So I think uh, putting that all out in like a paragraph, like how you start and currently what is your progress, or how many how much have you achieved over years, it's sort of one of the things I would say. But it's also not restricted to like years. It's more of how much effort you have put, and how much of this you can show to other people. So for me, that would be like blog. So I used to
Mm.
write a lot of blogs when I was job hunting in like 2021 and 2022, I think. So around that time, I did a lot of Kubernetes, home labs, and I used to blog about whatever I could at that time because I had that much time. But now it's more of like talk, because those are a little bit more easier to finish off, and like you also I like to travel, so I use those as a way to travel also. So yeah, it's like I
Also,
don't have much.
yeah.
Sorry.
So also, I feel that blogs are a little getting somehow outdated. I mean, even I used to read blogs on Hashnode and Medium, but then when I hold an interview like this, or when the thing is more animated, I think people get more interest. And then if it's like live conversation, then when people are more enchanted to like listen to it, and then they get a clearer picture than a simple blog writing, I feel.
Yeah, it all depends. Like I'm someone who used to read a lot before. Like I used to finish novels in like hours, but now I can't pick up a book. So I think with people's social media and like attention span has gone down. So I
Yeah.
also try to do things like Twitch streaming in between. So even that was a really good way, because I did not have a proper stream setup or anything. I just use my normal laptop, and I have this old Lenovo camera for a webcam, which is currently what I am using. And that was it. And I just did a few streams here and there. on Twitch, and then I just re-uploaded that to YouTube. So even that is like a way of like content creation, but it all depends like how much time one has. For me, uh, I like to I like to code, but it's only when it's for like a particular goal. Like I can't sit and build like an Instagram clone, for example. So I usually pick up the open source because they have usually have like a goal. So they
Mm-hmm.
want you to fix this bug because it helps the user. So you have that
Right.
motivation at the end of it. But with blogs, it is like you write it and then you post it and then you have to wait for people to like sort of engage with it, or you have to have enough people that see the blog. So
Mm-hmm.
I still like blogs. Like I do want to get back to them, but maybe slowly, like maybe one blog a month or something like
Right. Awesome. So if I were to sum it up, it were number one, your skills. Number two, how interested you are in the Kubernetes, and number three, giving back to the society. Right. So that's what I can figure out from what differentiated you from the rest of the applicants that I'm not from. So great, Leon. So what are you working on these days?
these days it's mostly service mesh SEO and like uh, mostly service mesh, but I also try to work on hardware stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
recently I have started engaging with IoT devices and all these things, trying to like run Kubernetes on them, or maybe like just any CNCF project. So like OWASM is another thing that is very popular these days. So there are different variations of WASM that you can run on like IoT, or like they can compile to something like a Raspberry Pi or something like a Arduino these days. So you could essentially just write your code in like Rust, compile it to WASM, and then put it on a tiny hardware IoT device, and it would just run your code. So I find that a bit fascinating. uh, Apart from that, I think virtualization is still something that I am very like interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Back in when I was job hunting, also virtualization was something I was like always blogging about, like the KVM stack and all. So yeah, that is like literally more of my interest these days.
Awesome. So I find you having a diverse interests in a lot of tech topics. So was there anything in specific, like any language, like you mentioned Arduino and Raspberry Pi, right? So what is it important for people to mention the kind of tech stacks they want to work on, or is it like they can write it generally and like during their ambassadorship they can filter out what they want to work on, or is it that is it interest specific or is it very general?
No, it's up to the ambassador, I would say, however they want. There is no set of rules, as in like it just has to probably include CNCF in it. But apart from that, I don't see any rigidity, like in them say, okay, don't use something like C, just use Golang or Rust because that's
Mm-hmm.
popular.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think qualification wise, even I am not like I don't have much coding experience behind me. I can write code, but it's very problem based. So if I have a problem, then I will probably code something for it. But apart
You're
from that,
going for the absolute low code or no code basis, right?
yeah, I do like code, but not as a profession because it's just too much anxiety for me at the time. Like I see my colleagues like they code and it's like fix
And
this
then you
bug.
get bugs, and then you just keep on solving them, and then until you get the feature
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and I'm someone who can't like leave the issue. So if I have a bug, I won't like leave my table till I don't fix it.
Mhm.
And that sometimes like is like 8 hours, 9 hours, and it's continuous. Like it's not me like taking a break or something like that. So coding I do like, but it's yeah, if it's open source, I will do it. If it's something that I can not have a deadline for, I'm perfectly okay with it. But if it's like a deadline based, I can't. But yeah,
Awesome, awesome. So great, Leon. I think our audience would be able to decipher a lot of things from that, whatever you said. In case people have any questions, you can pin it out in the comments below, and we would love to answer them. Thank you, Leon. Thank you for joining us, and all the best for all that you do ahead. Thank you so
yeah.
much.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.